take you through today's warm-up. We're going to start with some arm swings. So just going up and down here with both arms. And when you're doing this, your arms should be straight. So if you're finding yourself kind of bending your arms and just kind of moving around, I'm really feeling my chest open up and feeling a stretch through my pecs here, through my upper chest, and through my back of my shoulders when I reach back. So make sure you're feeling something in this, you're not just kind of waving your arms around. All right, reaching up, reaching back. And then we can take this into alternating form. So one arm going up, one arm going back. Same thing, make sure you're feeling this. Want to start warming up the chest and the shoulders. And from here, I'm just going to take one hand, I'm going to take my right hand, and like I'm hitchhiking, we're going all the way around. So my thumb is pointing behind me as I reach all the way behind me. We'll do a few times on one side, and then go into the other side. While you're doing this, try not to overextend too much. So you want to keep pulling the chest down by tightening up your core. And after that, let's just go ahead and do some big hugs here. Again, make sure you're feeling this, opening up the shoulders. All right, now take a wide stance. Take your hands on your hips here, and you're going to start increasing that range of motion through your hips, making a big circle in one direction. So as my shoulders go one direction, my hips move the other direction. And then switch directions. Equal out the number of times in each direction, and then bring your feet so your feet are touching here, hands just above the knees, and we'll start warming up our knees and ankles, taking some circles, a few times in one direction, and then a few times in the other direction. And then from there, we're going to do some jumping jacks. So classic jumping jacks, hands go out and above, the feet go out, and then everything comes back together. If you're not into jumping, you're just going to take legs out. But I want you to go ahead and make sure you get 20 of these in. To get a little bit more range of motion through the shoulders, you're going to clap overhead and behind your back when you're doing that. So I'll let you do your 20. After your 20 here, we're going to take our feet underneath our hips, hands on your hips, and just stick the hips back. Shoulders are stay nice and tall, and I'm coming down to about 90 degrees and coming back up. So we call these good mornings. Really turning on the backside and warming up the hamstrings. So you probably want to get at least 10 of these in. For me, this is something I just like to keep doing. I keep getting warmer and warmer. My chest keeps getting closer to the ground. And I'm not at all rounding my back here. So I'm not reaching for the round of my head. It's staying up as I'm keeping my back flat for as long as possible. All right. Let's go ahead and start getting warmed up with some squats here. Feet are shoulder distance here, toes slightly pointed out. We're going to take our time with this and keep our chest nice and tall. Hips go down and back, knees go out. I can wiggle my toes if I need to. Go ahead and knock out somewhere between 5 and 10 squats here. Whatever you feel you need to do today to get those legs warmed up. We're still got a lot more warm going on today. We're getting the blood flowing. If you're sore, this probably gets easier and easier the more you do through this. All right. Now, we're going to take our hands, interlace our fingers, press our palms up towards the ceiling. I'm going to press up and straighten my arms, and I'm going to lock my ribs down as I try to straighten up. So I don't want to overextend. I'm tightening up my core, so I'm a straight line from my heels to my thumb, and a couple of alternating reverse lunges. Again, nice and slow, working through your range of motion. If you can get your knee to the ground, that's great. If not, just go to where you're comfortable. Maybe you're just doing what I'm doing right there. All right, a couple more on each side. Shake out those arms. The shoulders get tired while doing that. We're gonna hit the bottom of the squat again. And this time we're gonna take our hands to the ground and go to our knees. So I'm on all fours here. Knees are underneath my hips, and wrists are underneath my shoulders. Fingers pointed forward, fingers spread wide when I'm doing this. We'll take a couple cat-cows. So getting our shoulders warmed up. I'm gonna drop my belly, pinch my shoulder blades together, and look up. And then I'm gonna round my back, push in the ground, and drop my head. So cycle through that 4 or 5 times. I'll give you another look at this. Straight ahead, arching up, and rounding the back. All right, from here, I'm going to extend my legs out and find my plank position here. Let's go ahead and take one push-up. If you need to drop to your knees, that's fine. Chest goes to the ground, come back up, find that plank position. One more push-up. And from here, I'm going to take my hips high. So when I'm in this, we call it down dog position in yoga. I don't want to straighten my legs right away. I'm going to keep my knees bent. I'm going to tilt my hips up towards the ceiling. It's like there's strings on my hips, pulling my hips towards the upper corner of the room here. And as I press up and back, I'll let my head hang. My fingers are spread wide and pointing forward. I'm going to rotate my elbows a little bit to point back towards my knees, just slightly as my head hangs between my thighs. And then for my biceps, and then I can start to straighten out my legs here. From here, go back to a plank position. Let's go ahead and do one more push-up. Hips go high. I'm going to take my right foot and put it outside my right hand. So you can see me from a different position here. Right foot outside my right hand. If you have to drop your knee to make that happen, that's fine. You can keep the knee on the ground, or you can try to lift it up. I'm going to take my right hand, the one closest to my leg beside me. I'm going to reach up and under my left armpit 3 times. If you don't like that position, you can stand up, take your foot on a chair or a couch, and lean forward and open up your hip that way. So if you see me from this direction, you see my hips opening up to the side a little bit. Call this the lizard pose or world's greatest stretch. Then from here, step back to a plank. This time lower all the way to the ground, shoulders back, and you're going to roll up your chest a little bit. So make sure your shoulders are back while you're doing this. You don't want to be hunched over, trying to open up, stretch out your abs. Toes under, hips high, and your left foot is going to go outside your left hand. Taking some circles here at first, and then some big reaches up and through. Again, if you want to put your foot, stand up on a couch or a chair or something like that to open up your hip, you can do that as well. One more time, back to a plank, lower down, and we'll roll up our chest. Toes under, hips high, and this time I'm setting up for pigeon. Right leg comes forward. So, you see I'm trying to get my shin somewhat parallel with my chest here. Flexing my foot, so I don't want my toes pointing away. I want to bring them up, so it's going to protect my knee. And my back leg is starting to relax down and back. And I'm feeling this on the outside of this hip over here on my right hip. So as I've got that position, if I'm comfortable, I'm going to slowly come down to my forearms, or maybe even a little bit farther. If I don't like that here, I can roll over on my back, and I can start to pull and hug my leg towards me. If I need to just pull here, I can do that. I can also do this from a seated position, just crossing my leg over the other, like so. Letting that knee fall towards the ground as I lean forward slightly. So, we've been on that right side a little bit. Go ahead and come hands on your shoulders, shake out that leg, and we'll do the other side. So this is really going to help you in your squats, really help alleviate lower back pain as well, give you some increased hip mobility and space in your hips for your squats. And then lots of other things going on here. It's going to help you in lunges. And obviously if you've got this increased mobility, it's going to start to make it easier to get on and off the ground as you can move your legs with your hips closer to the ground. So we're evening out this side. Again, you can roll on your back if you need to, or cross your legs while you're sitting on something. Hands under your shoulders, shake out those legs, We'll come all the way back up to standing. 20 more jumping jacks if you can. Hands overhead and clapping behind your back, starting to open up those shoulders again. And after you're done with your 20 jumping jacks, you're done with this warm-up, ready for either your strength portion of your workout or the workout itself today.